Hey guys, this is going to be a video about what to expect when you bring your second baby home. I know I have 3 kids, but this is a video I never did after my second, and I feel like I have more insight now that I have 3. I'm going to start off with when you're pregnant with your second child. I feel like at the end most people get this feeling that they're never going to be able to love their second child the way they loved their first. And this is in part because with your first child, you can give them your undivided attention, and it strengthens your bond really quickly with your first child. And so you're feeling like with your second, you won't have all that one-on-one time with your first, and it kind of scares you a little bit, and that's completely natural. I will tell you right now, you will love your second child just as much as your first, and to not be too worried about it, and you will still be able to spend time with your first child. When you are in the hospital and you've just had your second child, you will have a lot of one-on-one time with that child and that child alone, and enjoy it because you won't have that time again. When I had my second child, I was extremely excited and I spent a lot of time with him in the hospital. But as soon as you bring that child home, you have the other child to deal with as well. And it can be kind of hectic at first, especially when you have a newborn or a young baby, because you feel like you are constantly with the baby, constantly taking care of the baby, and you don't have a whole lot of time to play with the other child. If you're breastfeeding, you're constantly breastfeeding the baby. I bottle fed my second, and you're constantly feeding them, you're constantly getting up at night, you're constantly extremely exhausted. That's not going to last forever. It will last for about 3 months, I would say, where you feel so overwhelmed and I don't know how I'm gonna get through this and that kind of stuff. You'll be thinking, gosh, I wish that he would get older so I can, at least lay him on the floor for a minute so I can hug my child. And when the baby sleeps a lot, but still difficult because they don't sleep for very long periods. Their stomachs don't hold that much milk, so they get hungry really quickly and they want to eat again. And if you're breastfeeding, you're going to be cluster feeding, which is difficult. For my first 2, I did not breastfeed, but my third one that I just had 4 months ago, I did breastfeed him, and I feel like it was so hard because I was used to bottle feeding, and in the beginning, bottle feeding is easier than breastfeeding. Now, I absolutely love breastfeeding. It is the best thing in the world. It is so easy, but back then, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. As time goes on, your baby will sleep for longer periods, and when they're awake, they're not crying, they will play, like mine is now behind me. So I will tell you that in the long run, it gets easier. It's not going to be easy at first. I'm telling you now that it will not last forever, and it's really great to see siblings together. Jealousy is another thing that you might be concerned about, and it is real. When I first brought Asher home, my oldest Kaiden was totally fine with it. He was extremely happy. He would give his brother kisses. It was great. And then as time went on, he realized that the baby was staying and was taking up a lot of mommy and daddy's time because of the constant waking up and stuff. And he did get jealous. He would not really want anything to do with the baby. He distanced himself from Asher, and I think that kind of caused a gap in their bonding time because he's just now starting to bond with him again, and it's been 2 years. If you can, try your hardest to give the other one as much attention as you can. It's going to be difficult. You might not think it's going to be that difficult, but it can be pretty difficult, especially with lack of sleep. when you go from 1 to 2, especially if your first one is not great at sleeping through the night, it can be really, really hard, because then you'll have them feeding off each other, and if one wakes up, the other will wake up, or if one wakes up and they go back to sleep, then the other one will wake up and go back to sleep, and then you're up all night long. It just takes some getting used to. Just like when you go from no kids to 1 kid, you have some adjusting, you have some learning, you have to figure out how to make your life work around this new addition to your family. Basically, when you bring another child into your family, you're gonna have to do the same thing regardless of how many kids you already have. I can tell you, even with 3, I hear a lot of people say 3 is easier than 2 or vice versa, and it's just basically the same thing. You have to add another addition to your family and learn how your family can adapt to that many children. They are their own person, they have their own personality, and you have to learn that kid's personality to be able to take care of them the best way possible. And that's why the first few months are so hard. It's because you're both learning each other. It gets easier. So for those people who are expecting their second child and are concerned, don't worry. It will be rocky at first, but your first was probably pretty hard to adapt to as well. But it does get easier. It will, I promise, it will get easier. And it really won't take that long. It'll be in the blink of an eye, and it will get easier. If you guys need any extra support or someone to talk to or rant to or anything like that, know that I am always available. Just send me a message on any of my sites and I will talk to you, be emotional support. I know that during that time with your new baby, you can get kind of cooped up, and sometimes it's a little hard to talk to other people and you feel kind of lonely. So if you need someone to talk to, I am most definitely here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and some daily vlogs. And I will see you guys later. Bye guys.